So I'm going to make a repair attempt on my function generator. Unfortunately, I had a little accident with it. A little embarrassed to mention this, but basically practically shorted the output. I had a very low resistance across it, and very quickly it started smelling pretty bad and it's not working. I'll turn it on just really quickly to show beforehand what I'm working with. It doesn't really boot up. Just kind of gives me this like flashing signal, doesn't really get past the start. Okay, I'm going to turn it off, make sure it doesn't get any worse. Open it up. I'm assuming I'm going to have to change the output transistors, maybe part of that circuit. So I'll start by opening it up and we'll take a look inside. Okay, so the rubber feet, these just kind of come right off. You just got to unpeel them at the right angle. And now I think I'm just looking at 3 screws, one here, one here, one here. They're all Torx, so I'm going to go get my Torx attachments and try to get this thing opened. Okay, so it was in fact just those 3 screws. I have this open for the first time, and I bought the second hand, so I'm already seeing some surprises. Now, right away, hopefully it's a good thing that C707 there looks like a blown capacitor. That would be nice if that's the only issue. If I just have to change one capacitor, that would be great, but that's clearly fried, and I'm sure that's at least one of the things that I was smelling. Now I'm also seeing some signs of previous repairs. You can see there's like a blue jumper wire going from R702 and then it jumps to R744. I'm assuming that was not stock, because I'm also seeing, where was this? Couple of the chips had some solders on it. So this one, there it is, U411. I could see that there's some solders on it. Also, with the jumper, going to this chip, U413, that also has some solder on it. There's something else like that, this U216, that has some solder jump to that. I think that's a capacitor, maybe it's a resistor. And might be 1 or 2 other things, but I'm going to start with that C707. Hopefully I can identify it, find the right value, and I'm going to look around and see if I find anything else. And then maybe with some luck we can get this thing up and going again. Okay, so I'm not having much luck finding a schematic or a service manual, which would really help me identify what value I should be replacing that C707 with. I do see C706, and there's some markings on it. Maybe I could get a value from that. I'm not sure. I'll take some measurements. Maybe it's the same size, maybe it's the same value. So I'm going to keep looking around. Maybe that'll help me identify what capacitor that is. Okay, so I replaced the burnt capacitor in my function generator. It seemed to power up properly, and now I'm going to give it a real test, and hopefully everything works great. So I got the yellow trace hooked up directly to the output here. Turn this on. Already I'm seeing a nice sine wave there. Okay, fantastic. So I'm happy about this, and if anybody has one of these function generators that needs repair, could be a good place to look. So I believe it was C707, and I replaced it with this component here. It's the manufacturer part number. Those are the specs, 2.2 microfarad tantalum. I always have a hard time pronouncing it. Capacitor. I think this was the original part. This is 20% tolerance. I went with the higher tolerance, 10%. I think 1411 is the SMD footprint, and it's a 20 volt voltage rating.